Play the song. Woo! Hello, good night, good evening, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You got Wayne and Tim. Ethan should be joining us a little bit later. Ephraim was down at the game tonight, sending us live updates.
Yep.
This was a big game, bro. I like it, and it's not just because we beat the Cavs. First of all, Sixers beat the Cavs. 125, 119. Sixers was down 20-something points at one point in time. They Cavs was a missing, and the Sixers came back methodically in the second half, like vet teams do. The Sixers played like a vet team tonight. Maxey out of his mind Garland was balling too. Garland and Maxey going back and forth at each other. That's going to be something to watch for years to come. But I mean, this to me was a big game to me in watching it, because usually Joel Embiid has to bring us home in these games. Tonight we saw Maxey take over, and then down the stretch, Joe hit a couple shots. And Harden, we got three options, and this is with Tobias struggling. Niang balled out. Shake gave us quality minutes off the bench.
Yeah.
We got the best big three in basketball. Go ahead, Tim.
It was funny. I won't say that first half wasn't fun to watch. We gave up 43 points in that first quarter, which was that. I don't know if I should be alarmed right away, because we've been struggling the last couple of games in the first half. But a star is born. A star was born. Tyrese Maxey, he's the third option, clearly. Like, there is no going back down at this point. To me, Tyrese Maxey is here to stay. Now, you know, your big three is Tyrese, Harden, and Embiid. And on any given night, any one of them can sit there and take us home or keep us in it. Like last game, remember Harden paced us the first half, had 19 points. This game, Maxey kind of kept us in it. And then he had that really big third quarter. And we were struggling. We were struggling all night long. It's funny because when I look at the score, Maxey took 15 shots, and the box score, he took 15 shots. Tobias took 16 shots. Tobias finished with 16 points.
He finished with that much?
He finished with 15 points.
Yeah, he finished with 15.
Finished 15, and Maxey finished with 33 points. So they took around the same amount of shots, but he doubled his output as far as points.
You hit them threes like he was hitting.
Yeah, Tobias is struggling a little bit. I'm trying to give him some leeway because it's still new, but it don't seem like he fit for this. He don't fit the squad no more.
I'm feeling like he don't either. I think a big problem.
I like him.
He has to hit those open threes, point blank. If he just hits his open shots, because he gets so many shot attempts wide open. Now, I just realized, because I just looked and I saw you had sent a message earlier that Tobias was questionable for the game at first because there was some kind of illness or something. So I don't know. I can't say that had something to do with it, because it's not like he's been balling since Harden got here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that being said, we had, like I said, the big three, bro, like they doing what they do. But when you look at it, like, you know how everybody say we don't have a bench. If you give me this kind of bench play from Niang and Shake gave us quality minutes too.
He did.
But I still insist we cannot keep running Korkmaz out here. At some point, Doc has to scrap that idea, because Korkmaz hits no open three. Korkmaz brings nothing to the game if he can't hit an open three.
But here's the thing: Korkmaz only played 7 minutes this game, and he only played 5 minutes the other game. It's just that when he's in there, he's noticeably bad. Like he was 0 for 1, 0 points. That's what he gave us today. Korkmaz, I give it to anybody.
And the one shot he missed was open. Like this is the thing. He made a nice shot. He made a nice play. He got the ball in the corner. He threw a pump fake. The guy went flying by him. He had reset and then was short. He keeps doing that. Like, it's something, I don't know. Is he from Lithuania? I don't know. I mean, is he from
Turkey? He's from Turkey, not from Ukraine.
Oh yes, he ain't got no excuse.
Yeah.
Dang his country. I don't know what's going on with the bull, man, but you know. Hold up, Joel was horrible. You think Joel Embiid was horrible tonight?
I didn't think he brought his energy was kind of low. I think he was like really
saving himself for tomorrow night.
Yeah, possibly, maybe. I don't know, but
you know what? You know what? Another thing, I see you saying his energy was low. That's another thing we looking at tonight, right? What happened tonight? What kind of defense was the Cavs playing on the Sixers?
They play a lot of zone, but they're gonna play a lot of zone tomorrow too.
Right, but this is my point. They went to that zone. That zone was to stop Joel from being effective in there, and that's how you get these other guys getting off. We didn't have that before, where other teams would play zone on us, and it's like Joel was your be-all, end-all when it comes to scoring and down the stretch. Now, if they throw that zone on them, you got Harden, you got Maxey, you have options. And that opens up everybody else like Harden because he could draw so much attention. That opens up for Niang to have his open shot attempts, for Shake to have more room to shoot, for Maxey to go off ball and do what he do. Like they can't give as much attention to them because you have Joe and Harden. So I think that, like we said, we was talking about Harden being here helps us play against that zone better. And we're gonna see a bigger example. We're gonna see a bigger example of it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the other day, yesterday, whatchamacallit didn't play. What's his name? What's the guy name? Jimmy Butler didn't play, so I don't know if he's playing tomorrow. But we're
gonna see if he's saving it. Jimmy and what's his name ain't play. Jimmy and your boy, Fat Philly boy. Lowry. My man Lowry. I like Lowry though. But and guess what? And they beat the Nets. Where them Nets fans at now?
I mean, you can't. First of all, that whole Nets right now, the Nets aren't the same Nets team.
They got Seth Curry. They got Drummond. Drummond's the new Shaq. Everybody was scared. We gave up Drummond. We gave up Curry. What they do?
Drummond is
they do.
Here we go.
Bam Adebayo dropped 30 on that bull head. I'm about to say something I wasn't supposed to say. Bam Adebayo dropped 30 on his head.
Let's leave that man alone. Let him be great.
I know I like Drummond, but he's not on our squad now. But everybody that was so worried about Harden, we gave up too much for Harden. We gave up too much for Harden. Y'all still think we gave up too much for Harden? And let's keep it a bean. We know everybody out here that was hating on that trade and everything else. When the Sixers was down 20-something in the first half, y'all was sitting, y'all couldn't wait. Y'all couldn't wait. Y'all probably on Twitter.
I didn't feel nervous.
I ain't saying you. I'm saying people that we know people have come in here and hey, Sixers ain't beat nobody yet. This, that, no. People in the social and main media and everything else. These people was waiting to jump on the Sixers about losing to the Cavs because they was getting smoked by 20. And the Sixers came back and put their foot on this game.
Yeah. Harden, are you okay with Harden only took 2 shots in the first half?
Yes.
Yes.
Bro.
That's how we got down. Maybe I was looking for a little bit more aggression from him because we was trailing big time and he only took 2 shots. I was thinking maybe that was an opportunity for him to like really.
He only took, how many times did he go to the line? You seeing 2 shot attempts, but he had points because he was getting fouled. So that's still him taking shots, but it's not counting his shot attempts because he's going to the free throw.
I mean, at one point he was 8 for 8. He went to this line 8 times. It might have been more than that at this point.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You're talking about shot attempts, but it doesn't count as a shot attempt if he gets fouled. No, but he was, you know what I'm saying?
No, he was allowed 4 times in the first half. So he
like,
what? 4 times. Yeah. So I was like, I just do it in the first half. He could have been a little bit more aggressive than he was.
Play the song, from. I know you sat around and waited to hear the song play.
No, he sang the whole song.
Are you saying something we can't hear? You muted, bro. Come on, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Something set up. Well, just keep trying it. Once you come in, we'll hear you. But what'd you say?
What they said in the comments?
Let me see. Somebody said B stunk tonight.
Yeah, Dominic. He said Tobias misses and B entry passes too many times. I agree with that.
I agree. First of all, that was a horrible angle, especially that one play. He should have swung it over to Maxey and let Maxey drop it down to him. That was a horrible pass.
I mean, Tobias did everything to help us to make us lose. He tried he did everything.
Yeah, Toby's struggling, bro. He's struggling. But again, we're talking about Tobias Harris being our third best player. I mean, our fourth best player on his team.
Ms. Noel got mad at Maxey for shooting bull guy mood swings. He
got mad at Maxey for shooting. Where you see that at?
Well, he got mad at I don't know if it was Maxey, but he got mad at somebody. I don't know if it was Maxey or if it was Tobias. But he got pissed off at one of them because they didn't give him the entry, he didn't give him the pass, and he flipped out. That's why he had a real bad.
Y'all hear me now?
Yeah,
we got you. All right, Ephraim was there first. Hey, Ephraim, did you think you think B stunk it up tonight?
No, B didn't stick it up. Not that I saw him. I mean, I thought he played. They were swarming him. They tried to do the swarm defense like Boston did, but that's where Maxey and Harden stepped up. I mean, Maxey he locked into another level right now.
Yeah,
he is.
I mean, he has been completely unlocked by Harden and him playing in that 2-guard position. And I mean, it was amazing to see, bro. I mean, his 3-point percentage. I mean, bro, he's shooting at 40. I would dare to say since Harden's been there, he's shooting over 50% from three. I got to check the stat in the last 4 games.
I think he
but
is.
I would dare to say he's shooting probably well over 50% from three since Harden's been there. It's incredible.
Well, the funny thing is he was shooting like hold on. Let me check. Hey Herb. You right. I said that I thought Maxey should go to the bench when he came in because I wanted to have firepower off the bench. You're absolutely right. I was an idiot for saying that because what it shows. But that being said, Doc switched it up. Huh? No, I ain't saying that. No. So Doc, but let's keep it a bean. That was when Doc was putting the whole bench lineups in. So my thing was, I'd rather have that firepower coming off of the bench instead of having nothing off the bench. Doc made an adjustment, and now he's saying that he's going to overlap the players. But that being said, there's no way Maxey should be coming off the bench. I was wrong with that.
I mean, listen, you sound like Stephen A. Smith today. He had to kind of admit that the Sixers got the better end of the trade with Harden over the lemon Ben Simmons. I mean, it's this
the lemon Simmons.
Yeah,
this thing is working out far better than I think even we as diehard Sixers fans imagine.
Not me.
So far, Brooks AG, he said it was Tobias that didn't pass on the ball, and then B got mad, and he should have.
What I saw, if y'all remember, before the end of the half, when Maxey had the ball, he actually directed Tobias to point. He pointed to Tobias. He said, "Yo, set that pick." And then when Tobias set the pick, Embiid was standing at the 3, and he told Embiid, "Go down in the post," and gave it to Embiid for the final shot. I can't remember I think he might have made that shot right before the half. I can't remember. But the Maxey is, I mean,
he's growing up before our eyes.
He really is, and a lot. I got to give a lot of credit to Harden because I think he just empowered him to go ahead and be the leader, commander of the team, and do what he needs to do. And this Bull's on another level right now, man.
Yeah. But to that same point you just made, because I did make a mental note of that I wanted to mention too. In the second half, like down the stretch of the game, it was at one point Embiid was at the free throw line, and Maxey stepped up and he got up in Embiid's face, and he said after B made the first one, Maxey started calling out the plans. He was like, "Yo, this and he played like a floor general." Yeah. And I think a lot of that does have to do with, I think Harden brought a lot of confidence to a lot of these other guys. Whereas though I think they like playing with Embiid, and Embiid is dominant force. But when you have a guy the skill set of Harden and the IQ, basketball IQ, B just now starting to get a better IQ in basketball. Harden has a great basketball IQ. Yeah. He's well respected. These young guys listen to him, and I think that he exudes confidence on them.
Yep.
I agree. I'm still trying to figure out what we got to do to unlock Tobias Harris. Because his game,
we got to lock the door, like get him out the building, lock him out. That's unlocking.
I mean, I think he had like 15 and 17. It was the quietest 15 points I think I ever seen in my life. He did get a pretty huge bucket in about it was like the 5-minute mark. He got a nice pass from Embiid down in the dunker spot, and he kind of laid it up. But he's just missing a lot of wide open shots. It looked like his confidence is a little shot to me. I'm not sure what it is with him, but
let me ask y'all something.
Go ahead.
Miz is in here going crazy, telling us so we just gonna bypass to buy Embiid. Was B that trash on defense tonight? Like he's talking like Embiid was straight garbage tonight. Like
that boy Garland, what was happening was, and I mean the seats I had, shout out to my man Tim Robinson, because he hooked me up. He got one, I'm willing to he actually in row 2, section 106. So I'm not far from behind the court. And that dude Garland kept. Listen, you had to respect what he was doing. So a couple times he actually beat out and gave easy passes to Jared Allen and the other dude. I can't remember the other big man that was playing underneath too. But he was playing so good that you had to come out. It was so a couple times it looked like, all right, B-man scored. But if he ain't step up, Jared Allen, I mean, Garland was going to score. Boy, he was playing incredible tonight.
That's what we
No, he definitely was.
We need an upgrade on that power forward position. You just need more athletes that can help out with the weak side defending. It's like, because Tobias, he had 4 rebounds. I mean, come on, you're starting power forward. That's what you're giving me, 4 rebounds?
Garland, yeah. I mean, Garland kept doing this move where he would drive and B was right there and he would double clutch the John and just lay it up. It was nothing you could do about it outside of fouling him. You just had to take what was coming. He was in his bag tonight. That dude, every time since the first time I saw him play, he's continued to impress me more and more. I mean, he's going to be a Garland. He's definitely deserving of being an all-star, and he's going to be a certified star in this league. Cleveland got a talent. That dude. They should be happy.
Do you compare him to John Moran a little bit?
Yes, he's on that level. He's on that Maxey, John Morant, Garland.
All 3 of them, like them 3, like those are like 3 rising stars. I'll take all 3 of them are interchangeable to me. Right
with the Maxey end with tonight, was it 31 or something?
31 points. He finished with 33.
33 it was.
33 points.
Well, it seemed like the consensus is everybody saying Embiid played trash on defense. So I mean,
this wasn't one of his better games.
I mean, it wasn't a great effort, but I just and they saying Harden played horrible on defense too.
I thought so,
a couple times I seen Harden. I mean, listen, it was a point in the game when Cleveland would not miss.
That's what I'm saying.
It's right in somebody's face, and he just laid it off the glass, and it went in. It just wasn't missing. It was great. And then when we finally started getting misses, that's when we came back. When a team making baskets, I don't care how good your defense is. Sometimes you just can't miss. It's one of them nights.
Yeah. And listen, and that's what I said at halftime. I said they shooting 70% at half. There's no way they finish the game shooting at that percentage. Sometimes you just hot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they was hitting. They was making moves. They was driving in and kicking out. Kevin Love was hitting his threes from outside. Whoever the other boy was, he was hitting his shots and everything else. So, I mean, hey, listen, it's lackluster on defense.
They trying to compare Embiid level to Samuel Dellenberry.
That's Mr. Wing. He just on here. I think Mr. Wing is a Brooklyn fan now ever since Ben left. You know.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
Some of these things, it's like Tim.
They hate
how Tim try to hit. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They hate him because they saying that Maxey ain't on the same level as Ja. He's not on the same level.
Not. Of course he's not.
But he's playing very well. Like as of like today, that's like a Ja Morant type game in the last 3 games since Harden been there. But no, he's not there.
Let's keep in mind Ja is in his 4th year, I think. So let's keep that in mind too. So I mean, it may be his third year. 3rd or 4th year, but he has more years in than Maxey. So, I mean, obviously he's in the MVP candidate. Maxey ain't on his level, but Maxey is showing potential to be a very good player in this league, possibly even great player, you know, depending on how the rest of this thing shake out for him. But he is definitely him, B, and Harden. That's our big 3. And Tobias.
And listen,
playing to the game.
Some people saying like Embiid was confused. Let's not get it twisted. We know that they look great against Minnesota, New York twice, and this still only like the 5th game this team has played together with Harden in it. So you might get some points. You might get some points where stuff is a little rocky, but they're winning. They're learning how to play together, and they're winning. Even with Tobias stinking up as bad as he is, I refuse to believe that he's going to be as bad as that. You know what I'm saying? Throughout. Like scoring 7 points and stuff on that. Now I ain't saying he's gonna be scoring all the way up there like that, but I don't see him scoring 7 points and 9 points on a regular basis with this lineup. So that being said, we're learning how to play
score
together and winning. But
he's going to score 9 points with this lineup on a regular basis.
Why he had 15 tonight?
That's all he's going. You gotta, if you watch the game, and I know you did. It was a couple times. Tobias is so out of place in his lineup. It's not even funny.
I agree.
know you've probably seen it better now. He actually is a couple times. He's trying to force his shot. He's not looking good. He's trying to play himself into the lineup, and he can't. Listen, the way this team is running right now, I know somebody said they like playing with Embiid. Yeah, they might like playing with Embiid, but they love playing with James Harden. You could tell. Everybody on this team love playing with Harden, man. It's the way he gets you the ball, the way he get everybody involved, his presence on the floor. Yo, this dude, I got hats off, man. He's an incredible talent. The way he gets everybody involved, the way he runs his team, man. He's a top point guard in this league.
Mr. Maxey, we're both in the same car.
I'm gonna have to call myself to the carpet a little bit because for years I hated on Harden fishing for a foul, but now I love it. I absolutely enjoy it.
Yeah, call yourself on the carpet. That was your MO. That's part of your commentary on Harden.
Yo, I actually enjoy watching him go to the line as a 76er. He like one of them players that you hate when they're not on your team and you love them when they are, like Draymond Green type ball and all that. I will say this about Toby, though. I give Toby credit for trying to find his way without being visibly frustrated. I'm sure as a baller, it's some frustration level to what's happening with him and trying to find his place. But I give him credit. He keep his nose down. He stays trying to grind. And he's trying to get into a rhythm and trying to make it happen. So,
Toby got to understand, right?
Somebody not trying to let me get in. I had to force.
Toby got to understand, right? He now his role on this team, in all honesty, is to hustle points, corner open threes. He's the new Danny Green on his team. If he understands, right, in his mind, if he say, "Listen, this is my role on this team," you know how when there's some stars who can score. Look at the Heat. You know, Chris Bosh has to understand his role on the team. Toby has to understand. Listen, I'm not part of this Maxey, Embiid, and Harden thing right now. So I just got to understand where I fit in and play my role the best of my.
But I think he does understand that. I don't see where it's like Toby's
forcing. He was in there forcing too many shots. Stop forcing.
How? I mean, in certain situations, they setting up plays for him. They're running plays for him in certain situations. Honestly, the biggest problem that he's having
is ran for him.
What when they set it up and gave him the ball to go at some.
Now the problem with Tobias is not Tobias an isolation player. He's not a catch and shoot type player. And James Harden is putting them in positions where they can catch and shoot, and that's just not his game.
But what I'm saying is sometimes when Tobias is out there and James Harden is not, and it's like Tobias and Maxey, they have set up plays where they go to Tobias. He's just not finishing them. I mean, he had 15 points, but like if you're looking at it, it didn't look great. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point that I'm making. Whereas though he still is trying to find, like Ephraim said, he's trying to find his spot in this rotation. But at the same time, they're still new. There's four games. So right now, you're still trying to figure stuff out. I know we had success early on, but it's still early and you're trying to figure stuff out.
Doc Rivers said today in the press conference, he said the Danny Green, Shake Milton, Furkan, Korkmaz, and Isaiah Joe are going to have to distinguish themselves in the rotation. Of the four, who makes it? Because he's saying that
who are the four? Read that again. I'm sorry. Who the four?
Doc Rivers said two of the four. Danny Green, Shake Milton, Korkmaz, and Isaiah Joe are going to have to distinguish themselves in the rotation.
Well, first of all, he better give Isaiah Joe time so he can do that.
Out.
I think it has to be Isaiah Joe and Shake.
Can y'all hear me? Am I
Isaiah
back?
Joe and Cork is out.
Yeah, you back.
I
agree.
I mean, my thing with Tobias, Ethan, I don't think he was forcing shots. I actually think he was just trying to get his offense a little bit. It was a lot of shots I actually seen Tobias pass up on, to be honest with you. I thought Tobias in some instances was being a little bit gun shy. But I think at a certain point in time, you got to try to get your offensive game going, which if he does, will be a great service to the Sixers. So I'm not mad at you trying to, in some instances, take advantage of mismatch and force it a little bit, force the tempo of your own game. I'm not mad at that. I just hope I hope it clicked for him. Because if it do,
I mean, I just I think just see him make more plays like the play he made down the stretch when it was a tight game, and I think B dropped the ball down there to him down low. He had the mismatch, the size advantage, and he put the ball up and scored it. But I do agree. I do agree with Ethan what he's saying. Tobias has to be more. He has to work on that catch and shoot. Like, and at certain points, it seems like at certain times he gets hot with it and can shoot it. But with this lineup the way it is, if he just catches and shoots, that's all he needs to do. And he could. His average was rocket because he's getting open looks.
Yeah, because Niang is coming for his minutes. Let's be honest here.
Niang was on for his minutes. He was on one tonight.
He was. I can't get too hyped. Niang was.
Yeah, we gotta give him a props. We ain't give Niang.
No, I'm not getting too hyped. I'm just talking about what he did tonight.
No, Niang was balling tonight.
Tonight he was balling. He was balling. But one thing
I was saying Niang was balling tonight. He definitely did.
I know a lot of people on the Maxey thing. A lot of people keep saying because of Harden. Let's be clear. Harden, has he escalated Maxey? Yes, because Maxey now playing in two position. But remember, Maxey started hitting his stride before Harden got here. And that's when I said Maxey should average 20 points from this game on out. I forget which game that was. And he has. From that game on out, Maxey has been balling. So he actually hit his stride, and when Harden came here, the doors he just kicked the doors open.
I mean, the only thing about that is he did have big games before Harden got here, but since Harden, he had like hills and valleys a lot. That's what remember people were saying, can he play with Joe?
No, but I'm saying when that point, when I said he averaged 20, he was hitting his stride before that.
But since, he had a couple like 14 points. He had a couple games where it was like 14 points and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is now the fact that he doesn't have to worry about Harden takes a lot of responsibilities off a lot of guys. Whereas though now the other guys can just play basketball. Like they can now Maxey don't have to worry about coming back and get the ball and trying to set people up. Now Maxey could just take off whenever he got the opportunity. He has that free reign to do that. So, and it's at a certain point, you saw when Maxey was cooking, you saw Harden and B both looking at Maxey like, listen, you roll and do your thing. And Maxey took over. They were setting picks for him and setting him up and everything else. I mean, I know some people want to sit there and try to make it like Embiid wasn't happy because he wasn't getting his shots. And I don't think that that's the case with this team. I think they want to
point in the game. Hold on. Did you see Embiid demand the ball at one point in the game? And
yeah, they were talking about from Toby.
It was when he had it was later on in the fourth quarter. It looked like he demanded from Harden. He had Garland. You know, they played zone the whole time. He had Garland in the post.
Yeah, you gotta.
He was at the top of the key. He was at. Hold on. He took a fadeaway. But he made it bounced around.
Okay.
Yes, it bounced around and rolled in, but he did demand the ball there. But that fadeaway to me, man, I don't know if he made it. So I can't.
But that's what. But he hit.
If he didn't miss that fadeaway,
it was a bad. I see the point that he making. You got somebody that's 6 feet.
I was coming on here to snap.
They're in a zone defense. They're in a zone defense. Go ahead, Ephraim. My fault.
That was a good shot because I agree with Wayne. I'm looking at the angle where I was sitting at. I'm looking at Bede's back, so he got Garland posted, and if he goes to the hole, he's gonna get.
I'm talking about in the fourth quarter.
I know exactly what play you're talking about.
I know what play you're talking about. The first shot that bobbled in, rolled around, and went in. If he would have forced it down low, he would have been met by a whole bunch of balls. I think it was a good shot. It was one of them Dirk Nowitzki Johns that Dirk made a living off of, shooting over dudes that's smaller than him. If you got a jump shot and you got a dude that can't stop your jump shot, he a baby to him. And he will put himself, to me, you putting yourself in more risk of getting your shot blocked or losing the ball if you try to force the issue to go down low. I think it was a great shot.
I agree because they're in the zone. And if he sits there and tries to take him off the dribble, first of all, smaller guy got a chance of getting at the ball. And then even if he goes past him, you got a chance for all kind of this is what we got to remember. This is Embiid's game. His mid-range is money for the most part. So if he the same way like Ephraim said with Dirk, when Dirk had them smaller guys on him, shoot that fade away and his money. Hey, listen, the bull Brooks AG, he said Niang needs to change his divorced dad YMCA sneakers and put on some real ball shoes. Like,
no, he don't. I got the Mary game. If you're gonna play like
that. Wear whatever he wore tonight. Wear them. He got the 2K the 2K generic Jones on. Put them on again.
Yeah, facts.
Tyrese, the only boy on our team that was able to destroy that zone, though. He was that's what he started getting off because he was the only one that can like destroy it like that. He was ripping.
You saying Tyrese been on his team and we faced zones and we couldn't bust him. let's be real. Harden makes a big difference in that zone where he can shoot over it. He take that, and Tyrese is getting better at that step back three is getting to be money, and I think Harden helped him with that. But Harden either could do that step back or Harden drives. He splits. Harden is so good at splitting that zone and putting his body in the guys and creating space for other people or getting that foul.
They asked Harden today.
This was happening here. He said Harden helped him. First of all, my bad, Tim. First of all, Maxey was shooting that step back before Harden got here.
What'd you say?
Okay. Tyrese was shooting that step back before Harden got here.
Not at this clip, he wasn't.
It's a different Maxey.
He was shooting 40% before. He was shooting 40% before Harden got here.
He was
shooting. No. He was shooting 40% earlier in the season, and them numbers started dropping.
Harden got here.
But them numbers started dropping.
No, he's been 40% all year.
I think it stayed around. I think it stayed around 40.
No, it did like 38, 39. It did.
I'll say this.
He's shooting more.
Let me say this. Somebody check the numbers since Harden's been here, and I guarantee Maxey's 3-pointer is probably over 50%. I can almost bet hard. I could almost bet cash if I was a gambler, man, that his 3-point percentage is over 50% in them last 4 games.
You act like you're saying something new.
No, I am, because Ethan said he's shooting good. I'm agreeing with Wayne that Harden has allowed, for one, more spacing for Maxey, but I think he's worked with Maxey on that. Harden is the king of the step back. What it's like when I was having an argument with Wayne about Curry when I was saying that dude's 3-point percentage increased when they go to Golden State. That's not a mistake that you got somebody, a great shooter like Curry. He will help you with your 3. You don't think Harden helped him with that step back? I think he definitely added to Maxey's repertoire.
Well, to prove your point, tonight he shot 83%.
Maxey helped Maxey by practicing.
He shot 83% from 3.
He's 66% versus New York with the second game.
Y'all going to give Harden first game that happens.
And then Minnesota he shot 66%. So he's shooting over like 70%.
Maine said it's 67% from 3 since Harden. Now you tell me that man is not effect. It's the Harden effect, baby. Let's go. Yo, pay attention to the rule.
Listen. First of all, you don't just get a step back in 3 days. You have to be working on your shot already.
First of all,
Maxey work. Let's hold on. Let's not try to discredit Maxey when working on his shot. He worked on his shot all year. He had video and he said
we're not discrediting Maxey. We're not discrediting Maxey, but he's going to another level since Harden has got here. If you don't think that Harden, we all said how we said about, remember the Knicks game when they said when Harden came in at halftime and he said to Maxey, he was like, "So you gonna play now? Like you ready to play?" You don't think that Harden saying these things and Harden giving his, remember, even before Harden even got here, he said about Maxey when he watched him, he was like, the young boy is special. Like he saw something in him. So now when you bring somebody of a Harden stature, a future Hall of Famer, a perennial MVP candidate conversation type dude, and he's gassing you, he gassing you up and telling you how great you are, you don't think that takes his mind through the roof?
But you know one thing that's different. Doc Rivers ain't been chewing Maxey out, like stopping him, impeding him from doing what he was doing before. Remember, he always
Harden is the coach now.
I agree with you.
Yeah, that's the key.
To push back at Ethan's point, I would actually watch the shooting video. It was this dude, and he was going in the park, and he was working people. He would see people shoot, and he would tell them to do 2 things differently. And they would rain like 3 or 4 3-pointers in a row. Now, could some of it been some YouTube cat? Possibly.
It's about lethal shooter.
But I don't know who it was. But I firmly believe that a small tweak in how you stand, how you shoot, your release, where you release, all that can have a huge impact on your success in shooting. Maxey has Maxey ever in 4-game span shot 67% from 3? And scored an average of almost 30. He's averaging what? Probably 26, 27 points a game and shooting 67% from 3. That's incredible. You cannot tell me that has nothing to do with Harden. I can't hear
that. Hold on. It has something to do with Harden because of the space on the floor, yes. But dude practices shot. Harden's going to knock. So, okay, what style was shooting now from 3?
Okay, but so you telling me when Harden first got here and we all saw the video, as soon as Harden got here, Maxey was over there following him around the gym. and looking at and working with him with all these different stuff.
I'm just saying, give Maxey his props for working on his shot.
Nobody's taking props from Maxey.
He brought his shot up to 40% for the year, which is
incredible.
Mm-hmm. And now Harden got him up to 67.
He's not up to 67.
He got him up to 67 since he's been here.
He's up to 60% since Harden. Harden has unlocked him completely. I'm giving Maxey credit for being able to be unlocked.
Again, I say this again. This is a game we lose.
The only person Harden couldn't unlock was Ben Simmons. He could not. Nobody can unlock Ben.
Ben can't unlock Ben.
Today, Tyrese Maxey said he didn't pick up a basketball after the Rising Star Challenge. He said the rest was really needed or really important. And then the head athletic trainer told him to take some time off. He'd been pushed himself the whole time since training camp, so he just took time. They say he's even after every game he stood at the gym, so he just took some time to just chill. And you looking at a young boy.
Did you see that? I saw a post where they were showing Embiid and Harden after the game in there, like doing like lunges with weights. like after the game, they would like it's like they.
Now that's the Harden effect. Harden is getting beat. I'll give you that. I give Harden that because I don't know if anybody could get beat in shape like that. But Harden is getting
in shape. Embiid was in shape before I got here. Embiid was averaging 29 points a game before Harden got here. What you mean got beat in shape?
He going to get beat up to playing 39, 40 minutes a game in the playoffs.
What is you talking about? He got beat in shape. Embiid was an MVP.
Getting beat in shape.
Embiid been in shape. Embiid been in shape. What are you talking about?
You know how B run out of gas stop. He gonna get B playing.
B, what are you talking about? B been the one carrying us down the stretch of games before Harden got here. What are you talking about? B been in shape.
It's the Harden effect. It's the Harden effect.
You can't listen to Tim or Ethan about B. Ethan went to trade B 3 years ago for Ben Simmons, and Tim can't stand B because he loved Ben Simmons. So both of them, their thought process and their analyzing of B is already compromised. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But Harden has added a huge impact and effect to what we're doing here in Philadelphia, and now we're legitimate championship contenders, and I think we're gonna win. We bringing it home.
Hey, listen, and let me make it clear. I'm not saying that Harden. I'm not saying that Harden's the greatest player, and he made that. What I'm saying is, Harden made it easier for everybody else. In the past time, right? He's one of the 75 all-time greats, a future Hall of Famer. Harden is. When you had in the past times, you would have needed Embiid to be the dude to bring us home tonight. This is what you would have needed. When you have a Harden that can space the floor, set the floor, and everything else, it makes a world of difference. Like you don't have Embiid doesn't have to fight for every point down in there now because you have Harden who can hit you with the step back. He could pass it. He gets in there. He gets rebounds. People say what they want about his defense or whatever else. Harden has in the last couple games stepped in, took some charges. He's gotten some steals. He had a little bit active hands. Is he fastest and the most? He's not the biggest defensive player. You know what I'm saying, playing defense, but he's around and playing team defense. And that's all you need from a guy that brings the offensive capabilities that he brings.
Absolutely.
This is the official stats for Tyrese Maxey since Harden has arrived. He's averaging 26.8 points a game.
27.
64.9% field goal percentage. 70% from 3-point line on 5 attempts a game.
That's incredible.
Hey, real quick, come on. Mr. Wing said, whoever you're lifting is mad as H.E. He said you out there doing lift.
Say what's up to my passengers.
Hey.
What's up, baby girl?
No, look, what's real?
The national media can't wait for the Sixers to lose, boy. They
can't.
No, I know. They mad. They big mad.
They can't.
You know when we was down. You know when we was down 20.
Teams gonna come out the network.
You know when we was down 20, they was already starting to type up their stuff. See, they playing a real team. Yep. You know they was starting to go in.
Yep, you know they was.
They started deleting backspacing it as soon as that run started in the second half.
Oh, little known fact. It said Tyrese Maxey said his dad Coach Shake Milton at SMU, and that's where they first met. I never knew.
Oh,
that.
did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Listen, if we could get this Shake on a regular basis, if we could get this Shake, and if Toby can wake up, I know it's a whole lot of ifs we talking about. If Toby can wake up just to the point where he scores 15 to 16 on a regular basis, I want more from him. But if Toby can give us 15 to 16 with Maxey and Harden and Embiid playing like this, I'll take that in a heartbeat. Especially if Shake can give us the way Shake played tonight. Like I don't think we're gonna get this every game from Niang, but we've seen Niang give us a lot of games like this though. So
he has.
Somebody hating something.
You know.
Go ahead.
Harden he wants Niang shooting. That's what you do. Shoot that rock. Go ahead, Tim.
No, facts.
They said Tyrese Maxey is already better than Ben Simmons ever was. And that's
right.
He is.
Not defensively.
Defensively. From Ben saying he was going to be better than Ben.
But
he was on record saying he was going to be better than Ben.
Tyrese struggles defensively. Him and Garland, they was giving up. He looked like Steph Curry out there early on the defensive end. Well, offensively, obviously, that's true.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that I was debating who would be better. My whole argument last year was that I didn't think that Maxey was ready just yet, and part of that argument was he had no preseason and anything else. This was his first year. I think it was Doc's first year. It was Maxey's rookie year. They had no preseason because of the whole COVID thing, so it was a shortened season from the year before. We've seen what Maxey did in the offseason. Maxey put in work in the offseason. Now, when this season started, I said that I thought the Sixers could still be a number one seed with Maxey running the point. So, but I mean, that being said, he had his like ups and downs early on, but I think having Harden in here, I think the Harden effect gives a lot of these guys confidence. When you have two players the caliber of Maxey, of Embiid and Harden, and now Maxey's starting to get his flow. If Maxey continues on this, I listen, Maxey look like he having fun out there too, bro. Like
he is. He's like fearless.
You gotta root for if you're not rooting for Maxey, then you're not a Sixers fan and you ain't got no heart. You see this good, clean cut kid that's out there. He works hard, he plays hard, and he tries to do all the right things, man. There's no way you cannot root for Maxey.
And he's likable. Everybody that's like taken to him. The city is funny.
Yep.
They spoke to James Harden after the game. They said that DeAndre Jordan was going to fit well with the group. Because remember, he played with him last year. So I know none of y'all three think that he's going to contribute, but I think he will. He can lob. He can still rebound a little bit. And
now, the one thing I will say about him, because I thought about it, because we was talking about it, but he will bring more of a physical factor. Like I give Millsap in there and he's trying and everything else, but Andre Jordan is a bigger body. So you can also bring that bigger body in there. You know how sometimes, so Ephraim just on two devices. Okay. So you know how sometimes you can bring that bigger body in there. Like people do against Embiid all the time. Like they'll bring a bigger body in and bigger bodies in and they try to, like how Boston try to run different big bodies and wear Embiid down. Now, when you have a DeAndre Jordan, you can come, which is kind of like what we had when we had Drummond. You could bring that big body in there to bang up against those other big bodies too, and help offset that, so they can't just all keep going at Embiid.
No, I agree. I mean, what I witnessed firsthand, and I'm glad once again. Shout out to my man Tim Robb. That it was impressive, bro. And I agree with you. When we was down early, the poise that this team
for not looking out for me, but go ahead.
The poise that this team has, because this hasn't been the first time we had been down 15 or more points. The same thing was happening against the Knicks, and now it happened against Cleveland, who's a better team. Everybody wants to see us play against a better team, and they chipped away. Everybody stayed poised, stayed focused, even though Cleveland was hot, hitting everything. Nobody could miss. Garland hitting everything. Like you said, Kevin Love, the other boy, I can't even remember half the names, but they was hitting.
What's his name? Mobley? Was a young boy named Mobley?
Yeah. He kept one dude kept getting fouls. The half light skinned boy, he kept getting paraded to the line.
But that's the other thing. That's what I'm saying. Like they was like the Sixers was facing adversity this game, and they bounced back.
They did. It's going to be a tough game going against, flying out to Miami, playing against.
Hit that like button. Yeah, because we got a back-to-back. Hit that like button. That's
Miami. Well, the good part about that is they'll get down there late enough tonight where Harden can't go out and hit the shaky butt club.
Yes, he will.
No, he go. Listen, Wayne was right. He ain't gonna have enough time for the tomfoolery. We gonna get in, get out, and well, actually, you know what? Yeah, because we gotta play Monday. We play the Bulls, so yeah. I mean, they might stay over. He might get to play around after.
Everything closed in Miami around 4 a.m. He'd be good. He'll still be able to get a couple hours then.
Well, look, that might be his energy, his motivation. I don't know. I mean, we'll leave that to him. But what I will say is, on the court, the impact is incredible. And the only person one of the only media personalities that been a Harden cheerleader and the Sixers fan since Harden went there has been Big Perk. He's been arguing tooth and nail with Stephen A. Smith about who won the trade, the impact Harden was going to make on the team. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he said he's guaranteeing the championship from Harden with the Sixers. So
the boy Michael Smith
said they want to see our downfall.
The boy Michael Smith was saying it too. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of arguing too, but Big Perk definitely been on board from. But this what I'm trying to understand. Like, everybody, when Harden went to the Nets, right? And he went to the Nets, and it was like, oh, the big three. We don't care about what they could do on defense. We don't care about what all the Nets gave up to get Harden. The big three, when you got three players of that caliber, you're going to do this, that, and the other. But these are the same people that's sitting there looking at the Sixers, and it's like, oh, well, Harden and Embiid. Like, they're not looking at what Maxey doing. Like, anytime Tobias Harris has dropped down to your fourth best player, and he's not even playing well right now.
I know.
And we're still, 4-0 since Harden got here? Like, since Harden started playing, rather, because I think we like 6-0 or something since he's been traded here, but he didn't play the first couple games, or the first game at least.
That's true.
So we're undefeated since he's been traded to the team. So
the energy is contagious. It's paying off. Maxey's game has been unlocked to a whole new level. What do y'all think is more? Now, I will ask this question. Do y'all think it's more that he's playing at the 2 that he's unlocked, or that Harden has put that Harden dust on him and unlocked him, or just the impact of Harden being? What y'all think is more of?
I think it's the impact.
I think it's the 2, because remember that the game. No, I think it's the impact of Harden just being able to coach him up, because, like I said, remember that game right before the All-Star break when we playing Boston, when we playing the Bucks, and we was trailing by like double digits in the second quarter, and then he whispered something in Tyrese ear, and then Tyrese went off, and he was like, "Thank you." He mouthed it to him. That was all. That was just coaching from the sideline. That was just hyping the ball up. So it was really the impact of actually being on that bench and coaching these young boys up.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's the impact, and not even just him coaching, because I think that's a huge part. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about the fact that when you have a guy that you respect on that level, that Harden is, and he's bigging him up and telling him like, yo, listen, you can be outstanding. You could be great. Like, this is what you need to do. That boosts the confidence. And then when you sit up there, and not just that, but when Harden's on the court with him, Harden can get him the ball. Like you don't. Maxey doesn't have to come back to get the ball. Like he doesn't have to, like, even when Ben was here, Ben had to come down there like to get the rebound or come down and get the ball and push the ball up court. Maxey doesn't have to come down to get the ball. Maxey can release, and knowing that Harden's going to get that ball out there for him and get him out there in space. And Harden and Maxey in the offseason unequivocally, I'm saying it hopefully, his finishing around the basket and got so much better. Like remember before, it used to be like he was always trying to run it through that little floater. Now Maxey gets down there, he's like underneath, putting that spin off the backboard and everything else. His finishing game around the basket has gotten way better this year. And now you can really see it when he can get out and run out in the open court, because you have Harden handling the ball more.
Yeah, I still think it go back to Doc Rivers taking the cuffs off of him and just letting them be free.
I don't know if Doc took the cuffs off though. I mean, he did and he didn't. It's like, Maxey, play your true position. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what he said. He said he's home.
I think Harden took the cuffs off of him. I mean,
exactly.
I know y'all we want to give Doc's the coach. We want to give props, man. But on the floor, when everything players make plays, you know what I mean?
Hold on, Ethan. Ephraim, ask Ethan the question that you asked us about Maxey. What did you just ask us about Maxey?
I said, which one do you think it is? I said, do you think it's more of this is about Maxey being unlocked to what he's doing now? Do you think it's more of him playing the 2, or do you think it's more of Harden's impact being there, or him coaching up Maxey? Like, just the Harden effect, or is it him being at the 2 position?
It's some of both. Without both, he wouldn't be doing he would be somewhat there, but I think now he's because of both. You got Harden on there. Harden equals floor spacing too, so frees up Maxey. So he won't be, if it was just Maxey out there, Embiid, he'd be getting, seeing a lot more double teams to be thrown out and getting the ball in his hands. You don't got to see that. So I think it's a little bit of both.
No, I think that with all that, with the success, that's the other thing. When Maxey's seeing some success with it, so now it's like, oh, what he's telling me is right. And you see the confidence, you see the swagger. Listen, bro. Yeah. Maxey's carrying so much more swagger now. That's like when he came down after he had just jaded up. He came down and he was on Garland. I seen he like smiled and laughing and playing. Yeah. Now Garland came right back at him, but that made it entertaining. Like you seeing these two young guys. These two guys are the future of the league, and you seeing them going at it. But Maxey, you can see, and I also think being in that at the All-Star game in the challenge, the up and coming challenge. I think that meant something too, because now you get to see, like, I'm on the level of some of these other guys. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys that you're on. And I think all that leads up to his confidence.
I agree. I mean, I was a couple people here. Jay Carr said he thinks all 3. Mr. Wing said combo 2 guard and Harden. Most people kind of agree it's a combination of both. I think so too. I also agree with kind of Wayne point. I remember I was watching I think it was Mike Tyson documentary, and he was talking about Customato and how he fueled his confidence and his ego every time he saw him do something. All he kept saying was just compliments, like, "Oh, so beautiful. It looked nice. The way you moving is just like." He was just feeding and just building him. He said that helped him. By the time he got into the ring, his confidence was so high he felt like nobody could beat him. So I do think that some of that has to do with what Harden's doing with I'm about to say Mr. Wing. I'm about to say with Mr. Wing, but with Maxey, because Mr. Wing said, by the way, you a funny cat. He talking about Harden don't need the club, not a Maxey in the team. Listen, Maxey don't play like that. Stop
Mr. Wing been hating all night.
He do. You been hating on Harden.
Mr. Wing. He must have hated the trade for some reason. Listen, it's okay. No, for real. All jokes aside, it's okay if you were a Sixers fan and you felt some kind of way about the trade. Maybe you felt about some kind of way about it because it was Ben Simmons being let go. Maybe you felt some kind of way because you felt like we gave up too much with the draft picks and Curry and Drummond. Come on back now. Listen, stop hating. Come on back now. Get on the train. Enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying? And just enjoy the ride. What Andy Reid say? Enjoy the win, man. Enjoy the win.
Yeah,
that's all. Just get on board. And I know we've been scarred in the back in the past where we get all hype up and we feel this, that, and other. Harden is an all-time great. Embiid will be an all-time great. You have this on this team, and I said it earlier. Y'all wasn't on here. I think we had the best big 3 in basketball right now. Who has a better big 3?
Milwaukee is good.
You think their big 3 is better than the Sixers?
I said they're good. I didn't say they were better.
I mean I'll say this.
It's such a small sample size we're looking at right now.
I'll say this. With Maxey playing the way he's playing, I absolutely agree. I mean,
that's what I'm talking about with Maxey.
Which shooting guard in the league is shooting 60% and 70% 3-point? Like, I'm not saying it's going to continue like this, but right now, the way they're playing like the best big 3 in basketball. Yes, I would have to agree with that. They all shooting at a pretty high level. Since Harden came, if I'm not mistaken, Embiid's field goal percentage has increased as well, and probably his 3. So his impact has been on everybody. This thing is, I mean, I know it ain't going to continue to be this good. We still in a little bit of the honeymoon phase. There's going to be some games we might lose and somebody might look bad. But what we seeing now is far beyond what I thought we'd see this 10, 15 games in. I didn't think we'd see this type of impact this type of cohesion this soon, this well. I didn't see it coming. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm impressed.
We had to win now and learn how to play with one another. But we're gonna wrap this thing up. We'll be back tomorrow, right after the game. But impressive win, impressive comeback when we was down 21 points and wound up winning 125-119.
Real quick, what's your predictions for the game tomorrow? We are coming off a back-to-back.
Yeah, I know. You know what? We kind of talked about it earlier. I kind of felt like Embiid and Harden both early on was trying to pace themselves. Like it looked like they weren't as aggressive. And I honestly think that they might have been looking to that Miami game a little bit, trying to coast through this, and they got rocked early on. So
this
I don't know. It took a lot to come back in this game.
It's gonna be Miami's third game in 4 nights, so they still.
Oh, is it?
Solid. Yeah, they played it back to back yesterday and Wednesday, and then they off the day, and then they'll be playing Saturday. So
yeah, but is Jimmy playing tonight? Because Jimmy and Lowry was out. So was they sitting out and waiting for this game to come back and play, or what?
Who knows? But
see, that it's a lot of variables to this game. Now, if you tell me Jimmy and Lowry was sitting out the last couple games and then they coming back and ready to play this game, I think the odds are that we probably would lose. But that being said, if we come in there, hey, listen, man, we can win this game. I still think.
We got with right now with the top teams, and because somebody mentioned Chris Paul, that's why I started thinking about it. They asked the question, who y'all think is better right now, Chris Paul or Harden? We can answer that question, but we have what those top teams have now. We have a young dude who's completely blossomed in Maxey. So we got all the energy in the world. And then we got the veterans and a mid-age player B, because he's not old. And then we got a little older player with Harden, the veterans, who's very savvy enough to know how to pace themselves. But then when they need to pace, they got the young energy in Maxey. They got the young energy in Shake. That's why Shake is starting to step a little bit and do his thing. If you get Niang hitting, Tobias, hopefully. So maybe tomorrow's Tobias game. He ain't play that well today. He conserves some energy maybe to tomorrow. So back to maybe Harden and B take a back seat, and Maxey and Toby do their thing. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I still think I'm not guaranteeing a victory, but I don't think it's going to be a rout. Like, I don't think just because we play the back-to-back, Miami going to come in and walk over us. So we'll see.
Please tell us.
Harden just was sitting out for like weeks. So, a back-to-back shouldn't kill him. Ain't like he runs around like Maxey. You know what I'm saying? Harden paces himself the whole game. So, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see, though. But, the Sixers got a private jet. They flying down there tonight. They be all right.
Leave a comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification.
I would like to say one more thing before we be out. For the first time, I've been to about 20 games, maybe more than that. It's the first time I made the Jumbotron tonight. That joint was crazy. I was in there like, yo, we in the building. It was crazy. It was hype. Man,
was you out there flossing? Was you out there doing it?
Yeah, I did the floss and everything. No, it was a good time. It was a good time. But I'm glad we won. We'll see y'all tomorrow.